Alright guys, here we go. Let's get this done. The first thing we want to do is let's get our air cleaner assembly out of the way. The first thing we want to do is disconnect your air temperature sensor. And by doing that, you want to, how to do that, you want to push in that little tab right there, squeeze it in, unplug it, put that down to the side. Now what we want to do, instead of disconnecting it from here, we want to take out the whole tube and everything. Get this thing out of here, unless it's got a little vacuum port in there, which it does. That's cool. We can get that. Let's go down here. Let's get us a flat screwdriver, and we got a clamp right there. So what we want to do is loosen up that clamp. Make sure you loosen it up enough. Alright, that's good enough. The next thing you want to do, guys, check this out. You want to go to Harbor Freight or something, and you want to get you some adapters. Where the heck is this adapter? You want to get these adapters right here. And what they do is go into your cordless drill or something, and you can hook sockets up to it. The set is like $5, and you're going to get 1/4 inch, 3/8, which is this one, and 1/2 inch drive. So I got my cordless Craftsman gun here, and I got my 1/4 inch drive hooked up there, and I got a 10mm deep socket with that 1/4 inch drive. Alright, what we're going to do here, put it on reverse, just want to tighten that up. And what we're going to do is just take out this bolt right here. Here's our air cleaner assembly, and what we want to do is take out this bolt right here. Alright, that's great. Let's put that down to the side. We're gonna need that, so make sure you got that where it's at. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is reach down here, and we wanna pull off this hose. Let's see if we get this, back this hose off, pull that hose off just like that. Get our hose, this is off of here. And then we got this tube right here, this breather tube. We wanna pull that off, leave it with that. And you wanna pick up on the air cleaner, because down there, it's held on by two grommets. One right there, one right there. There might be another one. What you want to do is just pick that air cleaner up. And there's the studs that it sits on. We got the rubber grommets right there. And we want to take the whole assembly out. Look at it. There's our transmission right there. Bam. We are just about done. Let me stop messing with you guys. Alright, now guys, let me show you about the party line. This is cool. And in a lot of videos, when I do a big job, I do this as well. And what you want to do is start you a party line. Get you a nice clean area. Yeah, right there be good. We're going to go over here. We're going to set this down right there. Now, as we taking off parts, we're going to put them in a line. That's called the party line. Now, when we go to put this job back together, we're going to start at the end of the line and work our way back up. And that's why you don't be missing no parts. You don't be second guessing where parts go. Everything will be in order. That is cool. And what I like about that, you can leave this job apart for months. Now, a lot of times what I do, like I'm putting it outside. Usually what I do is put it in a room in a house, as long as your wife, or husband, or girlfriend, or boyfriend allows you to do that. Now, back to that bolt we took out. Take the bolt, put it back in place. So that way you don't have a bucket of bolts. You don't have a bunch of bolts hanging up on the side over there. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is looking good. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get this transmission out of here. The next thing we're gonna do, we got a wiring harness right here. A few plugs going to the transmission. Don't sit here and disconnect each one at a time. Go follow right up here. Get this big plug right here, and what you want to do is squeeze that tab right there and pull it apart. Bam, there you go right there. Lean that down to the side. That is done. The next thing we do is get you some wire snips right here. See, you might not have this, but this one does have a little tie strap right there. Go ahead and pop that and cut that off. Good, that's out of the way. We are looking good. Dang it, man, this is quicker than quick. The next thing you want to do, you want to get you a 15mm shallow socket 3/8 drive with a 3/8 drive ratchet. Because what we have here is our negative and positive terminal going down to our battery. We're going to disconnect those and lean those to the side. Now on your ground is going to one of the transmission bell housing bolts. So you're going to have to end up down in it, but I'm not going to open it. We don't want to sit here and open up this whole casing just to get that out. So we're going to get our 15mm 3/8 drive. that one loose. Whoops, that one ain't gonna come on Z. So what you're gonna have to do here is we gotta get us a 15mm wrench on the other side and hold that in place while we're loosening that up. Be right back. All right, got my 15mm wrench on one side, got my ratchet on the other, or you can vice versa, do it this way, the one you're easy with, and pop that loose. Well, this thing is, dang it, man, that thing is, the bolt is separate, man. Come on, you gotta be kidding me, man. Heck yeah, it is. That's all I'm trying to do is get that out of there. You know what? Tell you what. You're gonna go ahead and take that bolt out of there. Did I just drop my wrench down there? I'm gonna take it off, pull that terminal off, and what we're gonna do is take that whole thing off together. Leave it as one. Alright, let's do that. Alright, let me back it up here. Alright, we got that. And then we got this little tab right here. Gonna pull this tab back towards me and pick the whole harness up, leave it out just like that. Now let's get over here and get our negative out of here. Let's get our negative off. Then we're gonna swing this all to the side and we'll be right back. Alright, check this out, guys. Taking this nut off here. Yeah, it comes off of here to this one, but still we got that one right there. So what we're gonna have to do here is get our 15mm wrench or a 15mm deep socket. Matter of fact, that's too long. I'm gonna sit here and do this. So let's get us a 15mm deep socket. Right there. And you know what, guys? We're gonna make this easier for ourselves too. Let's hook up our 3/8 drive onto our cordless gun, cordless drill. Be right back. All right, got my 3/8 bit up here. So now make this a lot easier, guys. Check that out. Get this job done. Let's pop this off. Get that to the side. Let's put this back on. Tighten that up a little bit. Because then we want to put our other one on so we don't lose that. Alright, now our whole thing is all separated. Let's push this to the side and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are ready to go. The next thing we'll do, you know what? Get this harness out of our way. Got this harness right here. Let's go over here. Hey, where's the tab at? There's supposed to be a tab there, supposed to squeeze in, supposed to be able to disconnect it, but it's not here. So that just pulls right apart. Then we're gonna go around and we're gonna disconnect it from the computer. Here's our computer right here for the vehicle. Can you see that? Yeah. The sun is in our way. Now right here, you got this little plug right here. Just flip that tab back. It's gonna unplug it, pick it up. What the heck, man? What the heck is wrong with this thing? Oh, it's got the tab on the other side. Let me see over here. You gotta pull that back out, which I suppose they came off and did that myself. I don't know what the heck happened here. Oh, this thing is all broken. That's why. We had to put that back together. All right, what we're gonna do is swing all this to the side. You know what? Let's get us a tie strap or something so we can tie this up out of the side so we can see what we gotta do next. Because on our next step, what you're gonna do, get over here. You're gonna get you a 4 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch drive extension with a 1 inch wobble socket. See that wobble? And what that means is that instead of when you put your socket up here, let me put my socket. Let me put this up here for a second. Guys, you gotta get a set. All right, sorry guys, lost camera went out there. Okay, you got a wobble extension. You put your socket on, so in that way, see how that socket can wobble? It's like having a swivel. This is cool. You definitely want to get you a set of those. All right, let's go down here and show you why we're doing this. Here's our starter right down in there, right? And your starter is held on by two 15mm bolts. You know what? Let's get this unplug this. You don't have to do this, but I want to unplug it to be able to show you. So I'm gonna get this harness out of our way. There we go. Okay, we got two 3. Dang it, what the heck, man? I ain't want 3. Anyway, let's do it. Let's get it done. Oh, wait a minute, we got one right here. Dang it, this thing in the way. One right there. One right there. And this one's not in it. But let me see if this one's... No, that one's not. That's holding on the valve thing to that. No, we ain't got to touch that. That's going to be out of our way. Heck yeah. Alright, so what we want to do is get our extension with our socket. I'm going to go over here. And you can go right here. Or what I like to do better, this is a better way, go up under the transmission lines. Get that in there, like that. Now sometimes these bolts are really tight on the bell housing. It shouldn't be on the starter. But what you want to do now is get your 1/2" drive ratchet. And go in there and loosen that up. Alright, let's go to the top one. Let's get our setup out of here. Let's go between here. Get up here. See how that swivel helps out? Let me put the camera down so I can get a good look at this. All right. All right, we got both of those loose. Be right back. All right, guys, we got that loose. The next thing I'm going to do here is I got me a reducer, 1/2" down to 3/8. And what I'm going to do is take out, I'm going to get my 3/8 drive, 3/8 ratchet over here, hook this up to here. Dang it, stay still, man. Okay. And what I'm going to do is take my 1/2" drive ratchet out of there and put this in there so I can get more swing in it, get more swing action. And we're going to take those 2 bolts out of there. Alright, and there's our ground wire going to the battery. It's right there. So we're just going to lean that out to the side as well. Alright, let's get that done and we'll be right back. Alright, there we go. We got both bolts out. Let's pull these bolts back. And make sure both bolts are the same length. We got our ground wire hooked onto that one. Yes, they are. So we're good to go. As soon as I can get this other one out of there. Alright, so let's get those out, put them to the side, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are looking fabulous right here. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our same 1/2" drive extension with our wobble socket. This time, we're going to hook up a 14mm 1/2" drive socket. The reason being is because we're going to get our 2 top bell housing bolts. Let's look way down here and let's see if we can see them bolts. There's one right there and there's the other one. Where am I feeling it? Right there. Okay, so we're going to get those 2 bolts out. Let's hook up our socket and all. Reach it up under there. Alright, you can see we got one right there. Going to be kind of close, but that's all right. That is quite all right. Hook up our 1/2" drive ratchet, and we're just going to use this just to break it loose. So let's get you set up right here. All right. So we get one just to break it loose. Unhook it, and then reach over here to our second one that's on the top. Break that loose. Once you get that broke loose, take off your 1/2" drive ratchet. Get your 3/8 drive ratchet with that adapter and everything on it. With that 1/2" drive to 3/8 drive, 3/8 adapter, and we go ahead and let's take out those 2 top bolts. Be right back. Alright guys, the last thing we're going to do for up here is disconnect our detent cable, our shift cable. Now what you want to do here is get you a flat screwdriver, stick it right up under this little prong right here, and you're just gonna pop that right up out of there, just like that. Perfect. Lean that to the side. Next thing is you got back here, you got 2 tabs. See those tabs right there? One on this side and one on that side. What we got to do is squeeze both of those in and pull that back. So what you want to do is get you a pair of needle nose, or what I like to use is my hose pliers, because they got that little tip right there. And what I'm going to do here is reach back there, squeeze them together, just like that. And my other hand is going to pull that back. Let me see if I can do it with just this right here. Yes, it did. Take that out. Did it with one hand. So good. Okay, get that out of there. Swing that to the side. We are done, man. We are done. Let's get the new transmission. Now, let me stop. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, guys, let's jack this car up. Get it up on jack stands. We got to get this car high enough so we can get this transmission from under it. Alright, so let's get this jacked up and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, here we go. Got our hydraulic jack. Jacked it up under the frame. Right there, that center support frame. And then we put our jack stands located right there up under that support right there. All right. And what you want to do now is slowly lower your jack down. Once you get it down like that, set your emergency brakes. And then, as you can see, I got over here, I got my 19mm or 3/4 inch socket. You can use to get the lugs off the tires. So let's get these both front tires off. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our car jacked up, secured. Got me a nice cardboard up under here. This is mechanic's dream right here, the cardboard. Cardboard is cool. All right, for the next step, guys, what you're gonna need a can of WD-40. You need a 1 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch drive extension deep socket, and you're gonna need a deep 18mm socket, impact preferred. All right, so what we're gonna do first of all, we're gonna be taking off our axle nut right here and our outer tie rod right here. But before we do that, I'm gonna get you some WD-40. I'm gonna spray it up a little bit. Spray that up a little bit. And your lower control arm right there, that bolt right there for the lower ball joint. I'm gonna spray that up a little bit. All right, let's do both sides and we'll be right back. All right, let's start off with our passenger side. Let's get our 1 1/4 inch socket deep. If you get an impact, that'd be good. Definitely use an impact. And what we're gonna do is take off the center nut, and we're gonna use our impact gun. Wow, man, look at that, man. Get an axle. Come on, yeah. All right, our nut is right there. Now we're gonna switch it over to our 18mm deep impact. And what you want to do is go over here and get your outer tie rod. Okay. Then you want to come over here and get our lower ball joint right here. Guys, that is perfect. All right, let's not get these bolts confused. Now we notice this one has like a bigger washer on the end of it, so that's going to go to our lower ball joint. So we're going to move that to the side, and next thing you want to do is get you a nice sledgehammer. Yeah, remember that song, Sledgehammer? That's right. And what you're going to do here is what you call a method called shock and awe. What you're going to do is hit the spindle right here. Man, this thing is sometimes don't you hate hammers? Yeah, let me see if I get right there. What you're gonna do is hit right there on the spindle, not the tie rod, because right now you see how that won't come out of there. So you want to hit on the spindle. You want to hit this hard enough with this joint right here. This outer tie rod is gonna pop right out of there. So you're gonna carefully hit it right. Yeah. See, of course, I ain't doing this right because I'm holding this with one hand. Let's see if I get a better angle of this. Let me put this camera down and really whack on this thing. Bareback. There you go. Oh man. Pick that up. I'm gonna swing that out to the side. Now what we're gonna do is take our nut and just put it onto the end of it, just like that. That is cool. Now, the next thing you want to do is get you a long pry bar. First of all, let's swing this, turn this all the way to the side, because this is the same thing. So what you want to do is take our sledgehammer, and you want to hit it right about there, just to loosen that up. There we go. Pop that thing right out of there. Look at that. Look at that. Get that out of there. Just like that. Push our axle in while picking our spindle out like this. And it comes out of there. Alright, and what you want to do is pull out enough to get your axle out of there. Let me get my camera stand. Set this up. Be right back. Alright, there we go. So, axle. Pull our axle out of there. Bam, to the side. That is ready to pop out. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Finish that up on the other side. All right, let's grab everything and go to the left side and get all that unhooked. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go. We're on the driver's side now. We still got our 18mm hooked up. Let's get our outer tie rod first. Get that hooked up to 18mm deep. Dang, it's Alright, let's go up under here, get our lower control arm, our little ball joint bolt, the nut right there. Perfect. Stop turning, dang it. Alright, next, let's get our center bolt right here. 1 1/4 inch drive, 1/2 inch drive, 1 1/4 inch deep socket, 1/2 inch drive. Put that in there. By the way, I'm using the Harbor Freight Earthquake. Cool, that's done. The next thing I'm gonna do, for this side I'm gonna show you. Set our camera up right here. Here's that shocking ore I was telling you about. Hopefully you, I don't know, you can see it. Got that out of there. Turn that to the side. Now we gotta get our lower ball joint out of there. Switch to this side, you can see it better. Alright. Now what we gotta do is hit the lower control arm to separate that joint. Perfect. Got that down. Swing that to the side. Okay, let's go. Let's give you an angle right here. While you're pulling your spindle and everything out of here, push your axle in. Pull the axle out of there. Swing this over to the side. Bam. We are looking good. Put our bolts, put our nuts back where they were. And for the next step, we're going to go up under here and disconnect the right side drive shaft connected to the side of the engine. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go. We are on our right side of the car. We are looking good. Yeah. All right, the next thing is this axle goes into a bracket that holds this axle. You know what? Let me get up under here. Let's get up under here together. Let me turn around. Something's blinding. All right, there we go. All right. I hope you can see this. What the heck? Camera's all dirty now. See if I go this angle. Like this. Alright. You got one bolt right here. And then this bracket right here. Dang it. Guys, I'm trying to get this so I can get a good angle at it. Okay, you got one bolt right here, one up here, and one right on the other side of this bracket. So there's 3 bolts holding this bracket in, and you can see the axle goes right through it. See if I can block. Yeah, there we go. So to get that, because I want you guys to see this. Let's get from under here. And what we're going to use here is our half, because those bolts are kind of tight. So you're going to use your 1/2" drive ratchet. You're going to use a 1.5" 1/2" drive extension and a 16mm or a 5/8 1/2" drive socket. That'll give you enough clearance to go right past that axle. All right. Then once I get them broke, then I'm gonna actually use my air ratchet to finish it off. So let's see here how we're gonna be able to see this. I have no idea. Because the angles here suck. Huh. Hey, you know that ain't too bad. Let me see here. That ain't too bad right there. Sometimes these camera angles suck. They suck. All right, let's get up under there. See what we got. Matter of fact, heck with it, man. Give me the camera. Give me the thing. Let's see. Wait, you know what, guys? Wait a minute. I got an idea. I'm gonna back the truck up to block the sun so we can see this better. Be right back. All right, guys. I got a light up there now. There we go. I'm saying there we go. I still can't see. There we go. All right, we got one right here, one on the top, and one on the other side. And where's our 1/2" drive ratcheting on? Let me get up in here. And as you can see, it gets just past that axle. And these bolts are kind of tight, so there's one. There's 2. And the third one is on the other side over here. I'm trying to get that on there. Okay, dang it, I just had it up there. Okay, got it up there. And number 3. All right. Now I'm gonna switch over to my air ratchet, get those 3 bolts out of there, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got all 3 bolts out. The next thing I want to do is make sure all bolts are the same size. Okay, this one's a short one. This one, both of those 2 are the same. Okay, all 3 bolts are the same length, so we're cool. Now, as you can see, this bracket is away from here. Now, the next thing you want to do is get you a drain pan, because what we're going to do is pop these axles out of the transmission, and there's a possibility that fluid will come out of here. You know what? Before we even do that, before we get any messy down here, I'll tell you what. Let's change up. What we're going to do is go around this way. Let's get our light around here. Yeah. Now, what you want to do here, got a little plastic shield, this little cover right here. Pop that cover out of there. I I say that like it's so easy. It's like, just pop that cover out of there and get that out of there. Yeah, give me a screwdriver. All right. The reason why we're doing that, because good, that's cool. There's our bell housing, our torque converter bolts right there. There's one right there. So what we're going to do also is going to turn the engine while taking those out before we can get those out. Let's get this set up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get this done. Now you got your center nut right here on the front of the engine. And what you're going to get is you a, what is what I got here? A 22mm 1/2" drive socket with our 1/2" drive ratchet. And you want to make sure that's in the on position. All right, that's one thing. The next thing you're gonna need is try to get a ratchet. This is a swivel head ratchet. This is cool. Or make sure you get one with enough extension, because you're gonna need a little bit of leverage on this part. And you're gonna get you a 3/8 drive 18mm shallow socket. Slide that up under there like that. Okay, let's get over here. And what you want to do is turn your engine, clockwise, until you see a bolt line up right there. There we go. Get our ratchet. Now this one is going to be kind of tricky, because what you got to do here is you want to make sure you don't strip that off, because those bolts don't have too much of a head on them. So what you got to do is, matter of fact, it might be better, because this thing is in the way right here. What about if I get a deep 18? Let me get a deep 18 3/8 drive. Be right back. All right, I got me a deep 18mm. And what I'm going to do is hook it up to there. Now, if you have another person that can hold this, or let it continue to turn till it locks up against the engine somewhere, that'd be good. Or if you're not, here's a little trick. Let me see if I can do this now. What you want to do is you're going to loosen this up until it comes and touches the side of the transmission, and it'll lock it into place. Let me see if I can get this filmed right for you. All right. So what I get my wrench right here, and what I'm gonna do is turn it till it touches up against the transmission, and then loosen that right up. Okay, turn it back with the big ratchet. Go ahead and take that bolt right out of there. All right. So what we're gonna do here is take that one out, and then we're gonna turn the engine with our ratchet again until we get to the next one, and we're going to take all of them out. Be right back. All right, guys, check it out. We got all 4 bolts out. All 4 bolts are the same length, so that is cool. We got that done. The next thing we're going to do is let's take out some bell housing bolts before we get our axles out of there. I mean, we still got the mounts holding it in place, so we're pretty much secure. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, check it out. Before we do that, let's get us some pan right here. Let's take our little screw out of here. Let's slide this up under the car. What we're going to do is start taking out our axles. So let's get this out of the way. Let's go up under here. And we got one axle. It's going to the transmission right there. That's the one we took out the bracket. We're going to set our pan right about here, because we also got an axle right over here. Now this one should start sliding right out with no problem. And if it doesn't, we're in a little bit of trouble. Okay, what we're gonna do here is let's get us a little hammer action, just to tap it right there and get this thing out of here. All right, where's our hammer at? I don't know. Man, if I can use both my hands. Let's see if I can use both my hands to get this to walk out of here. Tasting fluid sucks. Alright, there we go. There's the pan up under there. We'll let that drain a little bit. And then let's slide this axle out. Get it away from the transmission and all. But of course, it wants a lot of fluid. Hey, Phil! Alright, gonna let that drain for a little bit. Let's get this axle out. We're gonna wrap that end up right there and put it in the party line. Be right back. Dang it, man, the battery's going dead. Let me go change the battery. Dang it. Alright guys, let's get up under here. Yeah, look at that. Let's get up under here. Now, for the next part we're gonna need is, I don't know. We're gonna use our 1.5 inch drive, 1/2 inch extension with our little wobble socket on it. Because what we're gonna do right now is take off some bolts over here. Let's get this pan out of the way a little bit. Get this out of the way a little bit. Let's see here. You can see in there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Looks like about a 14 millimeter. Yes, we do. That one's going to be kind of difficult to get to because of that right there. Dang it. I was hoping not. But we can reach that one right there. This one got to get a wrench. This one right here. And I might be able to, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and get a ratchet. But also, what we got to do is disconnect this big one right over here going to the mount. Let's see what size that is. Let's see here. I got it. 18. All right. 18. Let's get those two top ones out first. So we know one is an 18 and one is a 14. So I got them right here. Turn them upside down. And you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do is just use our wobble. Put our wobble on there. Get our 1/2 inch drive ratchet. Let me hook it up. Just onto here. And we're going to reach up in there and get that one bolt out. Okay, let's go into the mount. That's out. Now let's hook up our 14 millimeter and get that top one out right there. Be right back. All right, guys. Got our 14 hooked up. Let's reach our gun up in there. That's what's good about this wobble socket. If it wobbles. Dang it. Okay. That's that one. Pull that out. Set that down. Now we got our two right here. What I'm going to use on that is a regular 14 millimeter socket with my 3/8 drive swivel ratchet. Get in here and break these two loose. Oops. Where'd my socket go? You know what? Let's set you down right here. Let's see where we point at. Yeah, you almost there. Almost there. Right there. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let's do a little manpower. Okay, that's one. And we can get up in here and get this second one. All right, now this one right here, I'm going to loosen up as much as I can because we got this little piece right here that's in our way. Good. I can take the rest of it out by hand. And then we're going to get that bottom one. So we got both of them loose. Well, not that one. We'll get that one better. This one right here. Get this out of here. And then take this one out. And you know what? While we're up under here, we're going to get that one out as well. With our same 3/8 drive ratchet. Alright? Be right back. Alright guys. We got the 3 bolts out. Now, I noticed that, see these 3 bolts right here? They're the same length. That's the one that goes 1, 2, and 3. The one up here, by the axle opening, that one is a little bit longer than the other 3. So keep notice of that. Alright, let's get over to the other side. Because what we got to do over here is we got to remove this mount and all. So we got to get our hydraulic jack, get it up under the oil pan with a block of wood. And we're going to get that mount out to get that out. Be right back. Alright guys, we're back up under here. We got our hydraulic jack up under the oil pan with a block of wood. Definitely keep your block of wood. The next thing we're going to do is remove this motor mount. Because we got to remove this motor mount bracket right here Because it's bolted to the transmission. This sucks. Alright, the first thing we'll do is we got our hydraulic jack up under there. We're going to go ahead and pick that up a little bit. And I'm using my leg to use the jack just to get up a little tension on that. That's about it. The next thing we're going to do is get us a, what's this? 16 millimeter or 5/8 socket. I'm using a 1/2 inch drive. And we got 2 bolts right here. One's got a counterweight on it. So I want to make sure we put that back in the right place. Alright, first thing to do, let's get our 1/2 inch drive air gun hooked up. Alright, and let's take those 2 bolts out. 1, 2. That thing got a little weight on it. Next thing we're going to do is jack this up a little bit. There we go. Now our mount is clear and free. The next thing we're going to do is get us a 15 millimeter 3/8 drive socket and put it up onto a 3/8 drive air ratchet. Let's get this stuff out of here. Let's hook this up. Alright, we go up here and get that bolt out of there. Alright, let's get that bolt out of there. We'll be right back. Alright, the bolt is out. Let's pull this bolt out. What the heck? I thought it was out. Are you kidding me? There we go. Alright, let's slide our mount out. And get our mount out. Now, do you remember how it looks? You got this little tab right there. Over there. Where is it? Right there. Remember, that's going to go towards the front of the car. So, let's just set our mount down. Put our bolt back into it. And we're going to set that to the side along with the counterweight and the other bolt. Now let's get up there and get our bracket out of there. Be right back. Alright guys, we're ready to take this bracket out of... Wait a minute. You know what guys? This cross member is in our way. Let's get this thing out of our way. And I'm looking down here. I got 4... What size is those? Like a 16 or 5/8. Get that out of the way. Yeah, 4 16 millimeters and 2 17. Let's hook it up to our air gun here. You know what? Forget that. Let's get this thing out of the way. Alright, let's get those 4 bolts out and we'll be right back. Alright. Yeah, clean this thing out, man. Take out the 4 bolts. The 3 right here, those are long, and the one in the back is short. There it is right there. Keep it together. Alright, let's get these 2 17 millimeters out. And we'll be able to take this bracket right out of there. Be right back. Alright guys, got my 2 17 millimeter bolts out of here. Lower this bracket down. Take this out to the side. Let's get our bolts. A little grommet right here. Make sure we put that back in there. Yeah, with that. Let's get out here. Look at this. Okay. This goes on the other side of that. Put that onto there. Great. Let's get all these as a set. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get all of them as a set and put them all in the party line. Be right back. Alright guys, that looks better. I cleaned this lens. This lens is really messed up. Alright, now let's get this bracket out of here. And to get this bracket out of here, we got 3 16 millimeter or 5/8 bolts. Got 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm going to use here is my 16 millimeter 3/8 drive. I'm going to go in here. Okay, that's 1, 2, and then switch hands over here. 3. All right, let's get those 3 out, and we'll be right back. Okay, let's check out the length of these bolts. This one's like this. This one Okay, same length. And the one on the side is longer. Alright, cool. Yeah. We had to get that out of there. Now, as far as the transmission bolts, we got one more right there. It looks like a 14 millimeter. And you know what? That looks like a tight spot. So I'm actually going to use a 9/16. 9/16 is just a tad bit bigger than a 14 millimeter. Oops. Dang it. Gotta get up in here and get that loose. You know, can I get a ratchet up in there, man? This is ridiculous, man. What about this 14 millimeter? Get up in here like this. Hitting up against the dingle. There we go. Man, that's a tight damn bolt. Alright. And as we start taking this out, transmission just separated just a little bit, but I ain't worried about it because we still got the mount bolts holding it up at top. Alright, so let's get that bolt down. Here's our starter. You can see our starter right there just hanging out to the side. That's all we're gonna do. Just let it hang out there to the side. Alright, let's get that 14 millimeter bolt out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, there we go. Got that bolt out. And what I'm gonna do is put this over there with the other bell housing bolts and get it started separating already. That's cool. You know, guys, before we take this axle out, or at the same time, let's get this bracket out of the way. Alright, first of all, let's get this axle out here, ladies and gentlemen. But what we're gonna do is take out the bolts to the pan, let all this fluid drain out of here so we don't have a big, huge mess out of here. But before we do that, let's pop this axle out. Get us a pry bar right here. And we just want to pop this out just a little bit. Okay, I guess it ain't gonna pop out just a little bit, dang it. At the same time, let me get my bolts out of here so we can take this pan down. Be right back. All right, here we go. Got a little axle here. I got a little light in here to show you guys this, because this axle has a little ridge on it. We use our pry bar to go up against. Okay. I don't know if I'm able to see this or not. Let's get this out this way. Alright. There we go. Now, you can see it has a little ridge on the axle right about there. And right about there. So what I'm gonna do is try to get this pry bar right there. I'm gonna hold it up. I gotta do it with both hands. And pop that out. Be right back. Alright, that didn't work at all. So let's go to plan B. Let's see how strong I am. I'm gonna reach my hand in there over here, and I'm gonna try to snatch that axle. Gotta move this over to the side. I'm gonna try to snatch that axle out. And at the same time, I'm pulling back in the transmission. This sucks. Let's look at it from the top. This thing don't give you no kind of that thing's almost out of there, isn't it? Dang it. Yeah, we still gotta disconnect those transmission lines. Alright, let's get that pry bar from the top again. Let's try it up here and try to pop that out. Actually, there's another way also. A little trick that I've learned before. Yep, but see, there's that rod's in the way. Put a bar in there, between there, and you can knock that axle out. Anyway, all right, right back. All right, guys, I'm back over this side. I guess I'm gonna have to sit here, and this is stupid. Why couldn't they make this thing with some kind of ridges or something enough so I can pop that out? Stupid thing. So I'm gonna sit here and, matter of fact, you know what? Let's get this cover off of here, because this thing is in our way. So let's get us let's get this cover off of here. What we got here? We got two 10mm bolts that's holding this on. Be right back. All right, let's get those two 10mm bolts off of here. Jack, what you whining for? What you whining for? Hmm? All right. 1, 2. All right, there's our transmission. And there's our axle, where we're having a difficult time of getting out of there. It sucks. So, let me get up under here now. And we're gonna see if we can pop this out. They don't give no kind of ridges or nothing to get this thing. This is stupid. I'll pull this out with the transmission, but I think that is going to be in the way, so I need to get this thing out of here. Why couldn't they have like a little bit of opening or something? No. That is stupid, man. All right. Let's see if I can manhandle this axle out of here. Nope. Stupid setup, man. This bites. Alright, I'm gonna keep on trying it. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna try to get this thing down there enough. Got it. Alright, there we go. Set that down. And just like I said, this is going to be really messy job. So what I want to do here is start taking off the bolts. Somebody change the screen on this thing and put this bolt cross-threaded. Well, let's change it anyway. I want to start draining this fluid out so we can get this fluid out of here. It won't be such mess when we take this transmission out. Alright, let me get set up and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got my cordless gun here, got my 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket. And what I want to do here is take off the ones on this side first, so I can start draining out. So let me start taking these out, and what I'm gonna do is these over here on the end, I'm just gonna loosen up. Then I'm gonna take a screwdriver and we're gonna pry it out and let the fluid drain. We'll be right back. All right, there's our fluid draining. Now I'm gonna start just loosening up. I'm gonna take out these two over here. And then we're just going to loosen up these over here. And we're going to drain this pan out. And then we're going to just put the pan up and put some bolts in it just to hold it in place. And that's it. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, take our pan down. Alright, now we don't have to put all the bolts back in it. We're going to put about 5 or 6 bolts back in it, bolt it up, and then we're going to go on to our next step. We'll be right back. Alright, guys, the next thing we're going to do, let's disconnect our transmission lines right here. And the first thing you want to do is pop off these black little covers, these caps, this one, and then this gray one right here. Pop these back. And now these lines stick into the transmission with these special fittings. Now these fittings are held on by little clips right here. What you can do is get you a little pick or a flat screwdriver. Should have got a pick. Pick it up. Keep an eye on it. Keep it in your hand. It comes right out. Stepping on the people's tire. Now this one right here, the other end is on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is take my flat side right here, and I'm going to get my hand right there, and I'm gonna get that to walk out of there. It ain't that easy to do on this side. Can I get to the other side? No. Dang it, man. I wish I can get to. You know what? Shift that transmission lever out of the way. There we go. Dang, I just had it out of it. There we go. Alright. Get that around. Walk that out of the way just like that. Get both of them out of the way. And our lines will just pop right out of there. And we got our pan up under there. Now remember the black one going right over here, and if you want you can take your marker and mark that. All right, let's take those two lines, get them out of the way. Now the next thing we got is the only thing that's holding this transmission in now is we got 2 bolts right here, an 18mm here and an 18mm on the other side, and this whole bracket is going to go and stay right along with the transmission. And then back here we have 3 18mm bolts. But before we take those out, let's get our our transmission jack, and set it up under the transmission. Be right back. Alright guys, here's our transmission jack, and as you can tell, this thing is really old. I don't even know how old this thing?
Very old.
Well, did I get it after us? Yeah, I had to. I couldn't have it.
After us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. And check it out. What's good about a transmission jack is that it's got the 4 wheels big, so it's good and sturdy, steady, it's balanced and all. Then you got the lever right here that's tilt the transmission back and forward, and you got the knob right here to twist it from side to side.
Why would you need to do that?
Because a lot of times the engine is not straight. So especially when you take the transmission out, the engine is only held up by a mount or something. So what happens, the engine twists. So you might have to, when you go to line this back up, you might have to twist that transmission.
Oh, I see.
So it gets it to line up with the engine.
That helps you when you're putting it back.
Exactly. Okay. Now, also you got a little latch here, and there's a knob opening over here. It's supposed to have a chain on it that goes around, and that stops the transmission for falling. But I don't have the chain, and I mean I can hook up a chain to it, but we don't need to do that. Now, these levers are cool. You got one right here, and what they do is go to the bottom of the pan. But on this Chrysler, the pan is sideways, and you're going to see it in a minute. So we're just going to hope for the best. So what we're going to do is put our bolts in here. On all 4 of them. And then we're going to bring those bolts all the way down. Be right back. Alright guys, we're ready to get this thing going. And now here to jack it up and all, this little knob right here, this one is to loosen it and it'll drop it down, or we tighten it to be ready to jack this up. Alright, let's put it up under the transmission. And I can tell right now we already at a little tilt here, so let's get this thing this way. And you can tell this transmission, because the way this transmission is all set and crooked and all, this ain't gonna be such an easy job right here. Just get this thing in there. There we go. I'm gonna check it out right there. Now we got that situated. So now what we do, we're gonna go on top. And we're gonna start off with our back 2 bolts. And let me get this here. And what I'm going to use here is an 18mm 1/2" drive with our wobble socket, our 1-inch. It looks about a 1-inch 1/2" drive wobble socket. And we're going to be able to get in there. Yeah, with those bolts like that. Get our gun in there. One. Let's get that bolt out of there. Number 2. Get that one out of there. So far, they're all the same size. And number 3. And on number 3, what I'm going to do here is slowly loosen that up, because I know everything's going to start dropping at that point. Perfect. Got that out of there. And this mount is going to hang just like that. Alright, the next thing we got is our 2 18mm bolts up here. So get one right here. I'm not worried about anything dropping yet. Make sure I want to look at these bolts right here. And you notice I'm putting these bolts up here, and I notice these. Well, let's get these to those. That's the top of the bell housing, and that's the starter bolts right there. So we know that. Let's put these right here. And let's get our one more right here. And again, we're going to go slowly, because this is... No. There's actually one more holding it. No, that's it. This is going to be it. Dang it. Alright. That's that, right? That's the only thing holding it up. Alright. We'll be right back. Alright, guys. I'm up under here. And what I'm going to do is shake the transmission. Back it up a little bit. Alright. Looks like it's away from everything. See if I can back this up more. Okay, let's see if I can lower it down. Looks like we might have a little bit of problem here. Let me see if I go. Yep, So I'm all the way down now, and one thing about these transmission jacks, still not low enough. So this car's definitely got to be higher, and I'm gonna make sure this thing is jacked this higher before we put this transmission back. So he's like, all right, Tim, now what you gonna do? Damn it. Damn it.
Excuse me?
Dang it. Dang it. You know, I can't do this. I mean, look how close I am. But it was no problem. Because now, I am actually forced to actually manhandle this transmission. And, or better yet, you know what, guys, what I'm going to do.
Can't you make the car higher?
My jack is actually what's holding up the engine.
Oh. Well then.
So that could be a little issue right there.
Can't you have another jack?
You know what? We're gonna try something out here because I don't like the way this is sitting. I have to trust that. In front, figure something to hold that up with. If I had a jack stand, and if I can set this jack stand up under the engine with a block of wood. Nope, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. Cause that's going up against aluminum. Alright guys, let me figure something out here and I'll be right back. Alright guys, what I gotta do, I got my hydraulic jack here. I'm gonna go with Sylvia's idea. What's so funny?
Because then if it doesn't work, then I'm the one who's gonna get blamed.
That's right. So I need this thing to be higher. So, you know, being that the transmission coming out from this side, believe it or not, it's picking up both sides of the car. Alright. That is not high enough. So let's get a big jack stand. Alright, then I'm going to go bring the other side all the way up. And then we're going to let this down. Be right back. Alright, we're going to lower this down. Alright, the next thing we'll do is go back up here. Now we can see we got our clearance, but you see over here?
Yeah.
But our transmission dipstick tube is still in the way.
Oh.
What'd you say?
Oh.
Should have been over here in the first place. Now,
What the?
our transmission dipstick tube is held in by a 10mm bolt right there. So what we're going to do is take that out. Now I got a 10mm deep 3/8 drive, a 7-inch extension or 8-inch extension, and a 6-inch extension. So we're going to reach down. Take that out of here. There's our bolt. Push our dipstick back and forth. Pull it out of this transmission. Great. And what I'm gonna do, not that it matters, we'll put our bolt back in there. Okay. Now we should have the clearance we need to slide our transmission right out of there. There we go. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is swap all the harness over. And the customer got a brand new solenoid pack over here. We're gonna swap this over as well. We'll be right back.